Oh yeah, I forgot about this. This one's interesting. All right, in the bottom, Tatanka, and up top, Big Pimp and Tosh. You start with two Tier 3 Warrens. I believe they're both owls. Or no, I think one of them's actually fox on this custom map. And both players elected to sell, I believe it was the fox Warren. I could be wrong on that. Somebody correct me in the chat if I am. That way it funds that early owl. The map also has a lot of neutral defenses here, so some turrets, some barbed wire set up. So this is a really cool map. I remember this from a previous tournament, but it has been quite some time. Glad to see it again here. So both players are going to get that early owl, and you can use this to start dealing with some of the defenses on the map, or maybe you want to keep those defenses there to make it tougher for the enemy. So far, Tatanka just leaving the owl at the base. Meanwhile, Tosh is looking to start moving out with this owl, possibly to clear out some of these structures on the map. Yeah, start with the owl and the fox Warren. Yep, thanks Tosh. So both players did sell that fox Warren. I think I do remember some crazy matches where they kept the fox Warren. It was pretty good. But keeping it is tough, as Tosh is pointing out in the chat, because there's so much defense on the map. And obviously the fox can't interact with that. So Tatanka going for a quick expansion here. Meanwhile, Tosh getting some skunks. And from the Tier 3 point of view, Tosh is keeping us all on the question mark here on what Tier 3 he belongs to, since he's got 3 in the deck. Meanwhile, Tatanka does have Owl in the deck, which would suggest possibly the Owl faction, but also could just be trying to throw us off here. Yeah, I've been meaning to make a spreadsheet. I need to go back through some VODs I haven't watched yet and start ticking things off, start making some boxes. Because winning the investigation contest is actually huge for your faction. Could make the difference to get your faction into the finals. A gentleman in the chat says there's a Lego Man game where he kept the fox, brought it to the enemy base with 1 HP before they had anything up, but the fox took a big shot and died. Yeah, I think I do remember some other games too where the fox would get over there early and start knocking out some pigs, but looks like we have a macro game on our hands this time around. Both players have cleared out a little bit of defense next to their base, but yeah, we're going to mostly be getting into some Tier 2. Neither player really wants to get a lot of Tier 1 because the Owl is generally good against that. However, you don't really know at this point if the opponent can build more Owls, because they might not have Owl in their deck. In this case, both do. And Tosh getting some more Tier 1 here. Meanwhile, Tatanka going into Skunk Falcon. Oh, here we go. Badger's down for Big Pimp and Tosh. And Tatanka actually did scout that very early, so Tatanka knows what's up. And is going to try to get in some snakes and falcons to combat that upcoming Badger. Just moving out mines here for Tatanka. I believe Tosh just saw that mine. Yeah, he did. So now Tosh knows that mines are on the field for Tatanka and are an option in the deck. And even Wolf on the way here for Tosh. So Tosh trying to get into a lot of Tier 3. Meanwhile, Tatanka just clearing out a little bit more on the map. And we are on 16 farms. So I might do a little fast forwarding. We have a ton of replays we're going to get through today. We've actually got 17 replays here. Oh yeah, and the game timer in the bottom is a little screwy on some of these custom maps. So ignore that. That is not really giving you any information there. We are not 19 minutes into this game. Both players are building up, but this is good for Tosh, I feel like, because the Tier 3 is going to get out uncontested here. However, Tatanka going up to just a ton of Falcons, and when you start getting up to this number of Falcons, it can really counteract that Tier 3 very fast. I mean, just target them down very quickly. That Badger gets bursted, that Wolf gets bursted, something like that. It's going to be an issue. And Tosh really doesn't have a lot that can shoot up. I mean, just the Badger and the Squirrels here. So I'm a bit worried about this Falcon count. I'm not sure how much Tosh knows about the Falcon count. I'm sure he's seen quite a few in the air. Excuse me. He's also scouted several Tier 2 Warrens. So the Wolf almost here for Tosh. That doesn't necessarily mean that Tosh is going to move out. Could just use that Wolf to buff up the pigs for a little while. Get the economy going. This is a big macro game. Yeah, Tosh not looking to move out anytime soon. Gonna build more and more Tier 3 here. Yeah, get this Wolf over to buff up these pigs. Start farming a little bit faster. But I am worried about this army from Tatanka. 10 Falcons is an absolute ton. And from here, Tatanka's just gonna keep scaling into Falcons. I don't blame him, you know. Some snakes and skunks on the ground, and then just keep dumping that money to Falcons. Some mice gonna trade here, some mines gonna go off. Tosh knows Tatanka's kind of creeping up on him. Gonna go ahead and reveal these mines, be able to shoot those down, no problem. But here we go, big engagement coming in. And yeah, Tatanka probably gonna try to target down something with these Falcons. No, so far stays back a little bit, trying to get in there now. The Badger is still up, the mill goes down. And will Tosh hold off? Lots of poison stacks getting up. It looks like Tatanka's actually controlling the snakes here, trying to poison everything. And one owl went down. Wolf and Badger. Oh, the owl from Tatanka goes down. Only the Badger remains on the Tier 3. No, another owl is here for Tosh, and Tosh is going to clean up shop with this Badger. This Badger stays alive throughout that entire engagement. Really good there for Tosh. However, the game is not quite over yet. That third base did go down, but it was a little bit inconsequential. We are past the 5-minute mark. The first mills are gone. Tatanka going to sell off that owl and just try to rebuild all this Tier 2. But double Badger here from Tosh. Lots of pigeons. Not going to wait for the Wolf. Just going to try to go in. Thinking Tatanka might still be trying to recover from losing all those Tier 2. Good micro here from Tosh so far. Tatanka as well, trying to get those poison stacks. Does get one stack on the owl, but it won't be enough, especially with all these pigeons here. Tatanka pushing forward as Tosh is on the retreat. More Tier 3 almost here for Tosh. Oh, I think this is looking pretty alright for Tosh. I mean, unless Tatanka can really hard target down these Tier 3. It looks like he is trying to. One of those Badgers. Oh, it's so close. The pigeons need to heal, and it does go down. The Tier 3 are getting eliminated by Tatanka, but 4 heavy losses. Trading a ton of Tier 2 for those. And now the economies are starting to fall into the dumps as the second bases are almost farmed out here. This is where the game's going to get a little bit more scrappy. Tatanka really trying to rebuild up this Falcon count. However, Tosh has a ton of Tier 3 on the map. Another Badger already bought and paid for. And will Tosh wait for that second Badger? I imagine so. It's not too far away. Only about 10 seconds. So he probably gets the other Badger, moves out, and I think this might be a win here for Tosh. This is going to be a very hard defense for Tatanka. Tatanka has a lot of money also wrapped up in these mines. Yeah, he's starting to sell those off. And it's tough when you're playing against a mine player because you're not sure how crazy they are with the mines. You could just walk forward and trigger like 10 of them or something. But here we go. Last big attack of the game, it looks like, as both players are starving, but Tosh just has enough to push through. And that's going to be game number 1 here, going to Tosh. Scoring some points for his faction, whatever that might be. Alright, well played there. Let's hop into the next game here, match number 2. And this isn't Reed Valley. I don't know if I've ever seen this map before, actually. Is this a new one? This one's not coming to mind, but this is very interesting. I imagine you can't build on any of the wood, the planks there. So both players with their kind of starting off with 2 bases here. Lots of turrets on both sides. Ooh, Tatanka with the artillery cannon, though. Big brain Tatanka. Now the question is, did they know? You have to know what map it is, yeah, because you gotta throw it up in the lobby. I know it's randomly selected, but by the time you're in the deck selection, you know what map it is. So Tatanka really playing the map here. No tier 3 at all in Tatanka's deck. However, ferrets and artillery cannon might make this a short game. Tosh is going to try to prevent this cannon from coming up by building some moles, but it's just not working out. Yeah, this one might be a pretty short one, because I think once this arty is up, now we're having an arty party here. And oofta, as they say in Minnesota where I now live. This is a dead gristmill here. Tosh not going to give up just yet. Builds an owl, builds some skunks in the back. But so far, this is looking pretty great for Tatanka. Alright, so what's Tatanka's next move? He's got the ferret. Just needs some high ground vision, I think, is the problem here for Tatanka. So might need to invest in some into some falcons. Oh my god. Or he could just walk up here. This is so dirty. Tosh desperately trying to get into some badger owl to do something here. He's got a couple squirrels, but they just get shelled down immediately. Dang, man. Alright, Tosh, supply block tier, can't quite afford this tier 3. Tosh isn't super far behind in Akane. Well, actually, he pretty much is. I can't really hype that up, because the first base went down. But does have full 8 farms on the second base here. So Tatanka's ready to pull the trigger, try to end this game. Just building a ton of moles. Gonna come up here and try to blast, target down that mill, and get a victory point. Yeah, this is so many mills. Or moles, rather. There it is. Did Tosh... Oh yeah, Tosh just surrendered. I was gonna say, I don't think they killed him that fast. So 1-1 here. Tatanka tying things up in game number 2. And let's see what happens on the third game. Coming into this. Oh, I do remember this one. This was a 2v2 map, I believe. And yeah, you get a ton of units here. It looks like it's repurposed to be a 1v1 map. But I believe in the last tournament we saw this, it was 2v2, I think? Man, I have such bad memory. So both players start with 16 farms. And getting this middle campfire is very huge if you can start just slamming down some balloons or artillery cannons or something like that. And pretty deep scout from both sides. So we're just going to slam into a lot of tier 3 here to get things going. So 5 tier 3 on the way for Tosh, 4 on the way from Tatanka. And I might just fast forward this for a second as things are getting moving. We do have a lot to go over today, so probably we'll do a little fast forwarding while the games are brewing. But not a whole lot to say right now. The biggest difference is more Badgers here for Tatanka, which I think is a good call. I mean, the Badgers are going to scale better than any tier 3, including the Owl. I mean, you could argue the Owl also scales very well. Where's the shooting happening? Oh, there it is. A single squirrel here from Tosh. Better knock out this campfire, so that's something. And Tatanka getting a nice comp going, a nice defense setup. Balloons are great here, especially for that extra vision. And it's going to be very hard. It's a very defensive map because attacking in on either side is just going to be really rough. Now, keep in mind that since both players start with the 16 farms, this cannot go on forever because once that 5-minute mark hits, both players start starving. And it can really come down to whoever's got that campfire in the middle. To prevent that starvation if neither player wants to pull the trigger and move out. We're just ramping up to so many tier 3 here. Both sides got a woof, keeping that pig production even higher. It is a double-edged sword, though, on this map, because, again, now you're farming out faster. Tosh, though, with no defenses in his deck. That can actually matter a lot on this map. Look at all these tier 3, man. This is so nuts. This map is just silly. Like, what other map do we see a game like this? Where both sides are just spamming tier 3. So just letting this one brew for a little while. This is the downside of a map like this, especially with how hard it is to attack through the water, up the hills, barefoot both ways in the snow, all that, is it really makes it harder than even normal to get aggressive. So defender's advantage, absolutely massive. So really what's going to make either side kind of be forced to move out is this campfire here in a few minutes when the farms start going fallow. It's really going to be who can control that and prevent the starvation that might end up deciding this game here. Army value graphs, 2,300 on both sides. Pretty insane. So what's everybody go for? 10 badgers on Tatanka's side. 5 owls. Meanwhile, 5 badgers for Tosh, 8 owls, and some boars here. The boars will be nice to torch down those mice. And this is actually crazy. Let's fast forward a little bit. I'm concerned when these pigs are starting to go fallow, and you can see from Tatanka with how long the wolf buff has been rocking there that it is going out a little bit faster. This is so crazy. Oh, I think the match time is to give, like, your mills already have that extra HP. I wonder if that counts, and your commander HP as well. Since the game is accelerated, that's probably the point of having that clock in the bottom left be a little bit further, if I had to guess. Either that or it's just some weird glitch in the map editor. Alright, we're getting down to it. This game can't continue for too much longer. Tatanka's already starting to fallow out, and he knows that means it's time to move. Another tough thing is going to be finding tiles, which I guess actually with boar badger is not that big of a deal. But for mice it will be, because I don't think that... Can mice attack if they aren't standing on a unique tile? I don't think so. I think that's generally the rule for every unit in the game, probably besides badger and boar, who can attack while moving. This just looks like a science experiment. Alright, Tatanka just takes the middle uncontested, and Tosh really needs to prevent this. Does Tosh know about it? He doesn't. Because Tatanka's actually got some defensive structures here, so really can start slamming down, yeah, these balloons and just making it harder to ever actually get that middle island. Tatanka's farms are starting to fallow out. Just look at all these mice. So crazy. Alright. Tosh gonna start peppering in some pigeons here near the end. Literally running out of room to place warrens. It's just really gonna be like one big engagement, I think. And who won the game of better army composition? All these skunks, though, really gonna help out with the mice. And the balloons allow Tatanka to have some high ground vision. So it can just start peppering this this gas in here, getting some damage. All right, here we go. Tosh is ready to move out. Hopefully my game doesn't crash, as so many mice are about to start engaging one another. I don't even know how to commentate on this battle. We just gotta sit here and enjoy it, I suppose. So many badgers from both sides. Tatanka's army's starting to fall, though. I think these boars from Tosh are really starting to help out. Yeah, and Tosh actually just slammed right through. Some more boars. Some pigeons in the back to heal. The skunks really didn't do much outside of the very beginning when they tried to get some extra damage. And look at that! Tosh won the puzzle of which army comp to use there.